Seniors and colleagues here have really dealt with the matter. But I want to say that corruption in Ghana is directly proportional to the cost of politics in Ghana. All the political schemes, I mean the corruption schemes that you have seen in the last 20, 30 years is directly linked to the cost of doing politics in Ghana. Because it is an expensive business just to represent your people. If you want to run for any political seat in Ghana today, it will cost you no less. Some of our colleagues who just went for primaries, even in seats that we knew they had won, I mean, well, easy just walk through seats, we're spending 3 million cedis, 4 million cedis. It costs an average maybe $1 million between the competing groups for one person to emerge as a member of
during
parliament.
the primaries.
No, I'm just talking. I mean, even broadening it for, let's say during the primaries. Yes, during the primaries towards the general. Let's say the primaries.
And even on the day of primaries.
Then on the election, during the general election itself. So if you are spending $275 million, I'm not talking about cedis, I'm talking about dollars.
$275 million.
Yeah, obviously, because if you are 3 people competing and you are spending 3 million each, it's 1 million Ghana cedis and 10 million Ghana cedis or 9 million. Let's say 10 million Ghana. It's about $1 million.
Yeah.
So 275 million. That is just to win the slots from political parties. Yes, before we go to the general election itself. When we go to the general community, when you go to a church and the church tells you that, oh, Honorable Abe, since Honorable is here, today we are going to have a special harvest. And therefore, I mean, my predecessor, there's a church in Tema that my predecessor was refused or was not allowed to go and campaign in because he promised them they made him promise them air conditioners and he said he was not going to deliver.
That's all.
Church.
Yes, 11 air conditioners. So if I have 100 churches in my constituency and I'm to deliver 10 air conditioners each, how much is that? That's 1,000 air conditioners. Where's the political leader going to take the money from? But our society expects that political leader to deliver on this. So it gets to a point where, in fact, I keep saying that we are whatever politicians are doing, civil servants are doing, is a reflection of our society. This is what our people consider as politics. You go to your constituency. I have a meeting in my constituency every Monday. I sit in my house. My home, I live in a neighboring constituency. The front side of my home is my political office. I arrange chairs, and it's like a clinic. And everybody that comes with a bill. Yes, everybody that comes with a bill. So if you don't have a business to support your politics, where do you expect the person to go and take the money from? So really and truly, we have to go back to the drawing board. And, you know, some of our political leaders in the past, I remember Felix Japan made this case that we should, the state should support political parties in political funding.
Yes,
people didn't understand. But Damboche also said it. There was an NDC MP, Abayate. Yes. Yes. He used to talk about it. I mean, then I was a student. I used to listen to them. And initially, I really understand why they were saying so. But now, I really get it. Because if we are to spend 275 million on just that, minus the political rallies, the political conferences, we are spending about $500 million at the end of the day in a period of 4 years. Just to hold political power.
And that's not as if you love your conscience so much you want to represent them $500 million.
You would have so the political class would have to recoup that money. And most often times there are business people who back the political class with the hope that when we come to power, you would give them business to recoup that money. And they're not saying that they want to recoup 10%. They want to recoup 100%.
Okay.
So we have to really, just as you talk about regulation, go back to the drawing board, put in measures that would, in fact, make what I would call political accountability. You know, political funding accountability. That we have to be able to account for where our funding comes from. For me, when I was going for my primaries, I had a diary which my wife kept. Everybody that gave me a cent, whatever he gave me, I noted it down because I wanted to build that culture internally so that anything that anybody gave me towards my campaign, If he's a businessman, I write your name, how much you gave me, blah, blah, blah. Everybody, I try to keep that record for my own record's sake. However, that is the bane of our problem. Lastly, I want to add, this is my personal theory. Look, we don't pay Ghanaians well. Yeah. Ghanaians are some of the most poorly paid people in the world. We don't pay them well. And therefore, the person goes to the office, either he's pilfering or he's asking for, I mean, if you pay a policeman well, why would he collect 20 cedis from a taxi driver? A British policeman is, the average British policeman is difficult. You cannot give him money. The average policeman, you cannot. However, obviously, at the very top, you may be able to do some things because we've all seen corrupt cases in Europe as well. However,
there are those who are against that who also have a different view about that position. But you're entitled to it that, no matter how well you pay someone, that does not necessarily mean the person will not be corrupt.
If I may finish my point, whatever Ghanaians are paid is not even enough to take care of their basic needs. I mean, people go home with 500 cedis in Ghana, and I don't know how they feed. People go home with 800, degree holders go home with 800 cedis in Ghana. Yeah. How do they feed? So, it is not that, we should be truthful to ourselves as a people. We are not paid well. People are, even members of parliament, we believe we are not paid well. So that if we are paid well, if people are paid well and people can afford the basic necessities of life, if society is developing well, and we are, if you look at what Singapore has done, Malaysia has done, there's social housing, cheap housing, accessible housing, availability of food security. If these basic things have been done in the last 30 years of our democratic experience alone, trust me, we would have halved our corruption problems. But we've not been able to do so. And for that one, I blame the political class. If I say blame, no. I would say that I would hold the political class responsible because we have been given the mandate to make that change. But that critical mass of the political class to make that change, it's not there. Because look, trust me, him and I are in the political field. When we go out there to compete right now, and he has found money from any other source, good or bad, and I don't have the money, trust me, the people of Ghana would vote for him. It's as simple as that.
Can I come in?